Hello, Aries. Welcome to your February 2020 reading. Thanks so much for being here. First card out signifies your energy, Queen of Cups. Now, this is actually a really sensitive energy. It's sensitive, it's intuitive, it's nurturing, it's spiritual, and she has her eyes closed in this particular image, which tells me that I think there's a preference on the part of Aries to really feel their way through things, to feel what people need, to feel the connection to other people. But this card is in stark contrast to the rest of the reading, as you'll see. She is glorious. She is beautiful. She is kind of the epitome of the divine feminine coming out here. She is in receiving mode. But the rest of the energy and the particular environment in which you're kind of entering right now, with all this Capricorn energy moving into even Aquarius, which is another Saturn ruled sign, I think the Saturnian nature of your personality is going to be more and more compelled to come out. As we make our way through make our way to the environment card, we have your card, the Emperor, right? This is a card of Aries. I also see this as being Capricorn, Cancerian, Scorpionic kind of energy. It's just very intense, the Emperor. He pushes forward, he bulldozes, he makes things happen. And right now, the environment is saying it's ripe for you to go really reap the rewards. It's ripe for you to start strategizing and for you to put one foot in front of the other in terms of your plans. And some of you might not know exactly what your plans are, but even if you don't know what things are or what you want, I know for sure that you're at a place in your life where you know what you don't want, and that's enough, right? Maybe this is not a time to define what is, but rather to define what is not. So the Emperor is saying, it's time to get busy. It's time to put things forward. It's time to lay the foundation. And the Queen of Cups, I think she really would prefer to be at home and to be cozy and watching Netflix and doing her like feel good kind of things. But as we move forward again with the cards, there's not a lot of emotion coming out this month, meaning it's all going to be up here, which is beautiful. It's a good thing because I think the past several months and maybe even the past few years have been so emotional. There has been a lot of kind of unruliness as we are cleaning our heart chakras. But honestly, with Chiron in your sign, this is truly a time of healing. Now, the very first card that comes out is the King of Swords, which is, again, so different from the Queen of Cups. There's just like cups versus swords alone is such a stark contrast, deep feminine with deep masculine. And I think this guy is just going to have to win because I think he complements the Emperor a lot. Now, some of you may be dealing with a particular individual who is the embodiment of these King of Swords, Emperor energies. And if you're dealing with someone who's important to you, a significant other, husband, wife, a boss, a friend, whatever, they're going to be at the forefront of your life, meaning they're going to be pushing you. They're going to be pretty loud. They're going to be blowing up your phone. They're going to be trying to talk to you because they have some kind of thing that needs to get done. And for whatever reason, you are a part of this. The Queen of Cups energy, while it is beautiful, and I love the Queen of Cups. She's absolutely one of my favorite, but it's not going to be super helpful in dealing with anything that's problematic. And I don't want to see you with your eyes closed, all right, with your eyes closed, being taken advantage of because someone else is just being a little bit louder than you. The next card that comes out is the Devil. There's a lot of hard work to be done. Jupiter entering in Capricorn, and now the Saturn-Pluto thing, which we talked about all year last year, it's coming to an end. It's coming off of Pluto, right? Saturn is now coming off of Pluto. And while there will still be effects, it's not like it's like, okay, it's on the 12th and now it's done and now it's over. It's not really like that. We still have the cleaning up to do, but I think you're feeling like these blocks are finally gone and you finally don't have all the messiness to really deal with. And now you can put the pedal to the metal. And I think you should. I think there's a lot of benefit to working really hard in the workplace or within your family or to really help heal a relationship of some kind. And even though you may have perceived it as being a thorn in your paw in the past, I think there are a lot of benefits to be had by doing the hard work here. Because without question, there is and has been a lot of movement. Six of Swords. You know, I think the devil is the swords that are in the boat here. And they come with you. You carry them with you. They are the lessons, they are the successes and the failures. They're the important things. Now you know to never do again, or now you know that if you do it, it will work, you know? And so you're a lot more wise now. You're a lot smarter now. If you're dealing with someone like a King of Swords, the thing is even with the Six of Swords moving away, I actually don't see you leaving anybody. I don't see you breaking up or move, even though we also get the Tower card again, which was a theme for you last month, I think, if I remember correctly. So, I mean, it's not to say things aren't happening. It's not to say things aren't changing, but I just see you really being in the thick of it, being in the trenches, which is such an Aries thing, right? Aries, Mars, warrior, boom, front line, front and center of the line there. And you move forward more flawlessly this time. I'm sensing flawless with the Six of Swords, which is so smooth. All of the stuff that has held you back, it is now becoming your greatest asset. What was once a liability is now the very thing that is going to get you everything that you want. All the tough relationships, all the money problems, all the issues with achievement, whatever. It is all coming to play right now. And it's saying you had to go through it for a reason. And here's the reason. And so as you progress throughout the course of the next few weeks to the next few months up until your season, Aries, because we're kind of in that final stretch now. We're kind of finishing up Capricorn season. We're making our way to the next cardinal energy, which is, of course, Aries. So we're kind of in that last quadrant of the zodiac now. And I think you can feel the buildup of your solar return coming. And I'm not going to say it's like a race with anybody else, but you might feel like it's a race with yourself. I want to get further along in this amount of time than I did in the past 2 years combined. Like, let's do it. And I see you being totally up for it, or hopefully you are up for it. Queen of Cups, as much as I love her, I think she is kind of the hindrance. I don't know what other words to use. She's kind of the hindrance in this energy. She's the only cup that comes out. Everything else is like swords, and we get one wand card. Everything else is swords or major arcana. So, like I said, it's all up here. This is about mental strength right now. And I see this Four of Swords coming out reversed, indicating that it's not a time for retreat. It's not a time to stay at home and to be like kind of in your cuddles and it's cold weather outside. So I don't know that this is really the right time. Remember the Emperor in your environment. There's a push there. There's a drive. This is a time for Mars to come alive. And you don't need to sit and make sense of things. And I don't think you really want to. I think you kind of want to get into the battlefield, as I see with the next two cards. Oh my gosh, I can never pick these up. With the next two cards, with the Knight of Swords just ramming right into the Tower. Some of you may be causing your own tower situations for the sake of getting to the other side. Some of you might be causing the problems, like I said, I'm not going to put words in your mouth or write your story for you, but when it comes to making success happen, however you define that to be, you are more determined now than ever. You are more determined now to make that money, to find the love of your life, to find the prestige, to get the awards, to get that job, more determined. And honestly, there is no obstacle great enough. I love this card for Aries. I know this is technically a card of Gemini. Some of you may be dealing with an air sign, specifically Aquarius, Gemini. But honestly, I prefer this card for Aries because it's a very cardinal look to it. This is what cardinal energies do. All four of you, right? Aries, Capricorn, Libra, Cancer. You go after stuff. You set your intention and you move in that direction. That's what makes cardinal so beautiful. And I think this heading straight, I mean, literally straight into the tower, tells me you're not afraid of losing anything. You're not afraid of failure because you've already done that. You've already had the problems. So there's like, you're untouchable now. Remember, every single month, I feel like I said it to every sign. I must have said it at least 144 times. You are becoming untouchable all through 2019. And now here it is. Like, yeah, you are untouchable because you can't be afraid of failing because you've already failed. You can't be afraid of losing because you've already lost. You know, so like there's nothing that the world or that anyone else can do. So why sitting and... No, I don't see anyone sitting and thinking. No, Aries is just kind of in their space and doing the whole philosophical thing. I mean, you might be Queen of Cups. You might be at home. This is a Cancerian energy. So you might be kind of doing your whole indoor thing. But I know that if you find yourself sitting at home, you're going to get kind of fed up with yourself real quick. See, Aquarius is great for that because Aquarius wants to revolutionize our patterns. It wants to change things. Mars going through Capricorn next month is going to want to do the same thing. It's going to want us to push. It's going to want us to fragment. It's going to want novelty. It's going to want adventure. It's going to want something different. So anything that has been the same and like the same kind of pattern, even an in-between pattern, it's all coming to a point where it can't sustain anymore. Tower, Devil. The very last row, we have the Three of Swords. Why? I don't know that Aries is really dwelling. Maybe there is, like I said, an external influence. Maybe there is a significant other or a connection that didn't really work out. A client that's kind of being a pain in the ass or whatever. Aries, you need to know when something isn't for you. And your past losses are indications of that. When you get into something that like feels familiar, like you've been here before, probably is going to be the same kind of thing. The good thing about the Queen of Cups is her intuition. So when you get yourself into a situation that feels familiar and in the past it was bad for you, the Queen of Cups is the indication that's going to say, okay, Aries, it's time to get out. You've heard these words before. You've seen this behavior before. You've seen them say this, or you've heard them say this. You've experienced this. You've felt this before. You know where this leads. So on the one hand, her kind of complacency is not your best friend, but her intuition is your best friend, which is wonderful for Venus in your 12th, Neptune in the 12th. Happening right now. And even the Mercury retrograde can really activate our intuition. It can take us out of our justifications and put us into a state of heightened openness. And I think this is not a current or a present hurt. I think this is from the past. And I know month after month, everyone says, I'm getting rid of the negativity. I'm getting rid of it. Never again. I'm never doing it again. I've heard it a million times. And that's great and like good for you, but it's going to show up again to reinforce that you really, really, really are done with it. You have to keep pushing these things away. You're going to have to keep deflecting, because if you allow this person who's maybe a little bit shady to come back for yet a fifth time, and you're just going to go through it again, or someone who is so reminiscent, like exactly the same kind of person, is another opportunity for you to dictate to the universe what you want your life to be. And I think that's what the Tower is in its most positive context. There's nothing bad about the Tower. There's nothing bad about the Devil right now. This is all, it's a powerful but extraordinarily exciting and optimistic reading. It's just coming out with an intensity. And that's, I don't know, like why not? Why can't the good things come rolling in with an intensity? Why can't the love of your life come rolling in with some drama, right? Like, why not? I think that's what's happening because you are officially fed up with things. You're officially fed up with certain areas and certain circumstances. And therefore, you're like more quick to, like, it's like a very quick draw. Three of Swords comes in. You're going to hack it off before it even has a chance to really get close to you. So it's not so protective in terms of like setting boundaries and being all politically correct about it. And it's like, no, you're just going to be brash about it. And that's one thing that Aries can kind of get away with just because you're Aries. Like you can, I'm not saying you have to be mean and go around like really punishing people, but you know, you can have the harshness that you need to have. That's actually one of my favorite things about Aries that I wish I had. 10 of Swords reversed. Same as the 4 of Swords reversed. It's not a time of martyrdom. It's not a time of victimhood. I do not see Aries playing these games, and I also do not see Aries allowing other people to have their own little pity parties around them. Anybody's little stories and excuses and all the reasons why they can't do something or why they can't show up. Like, I think 2020 was the time of psychological analysis. And 2019? 2019 was like psychological analysis time. And as we have Chiron moving through Aries, there's going to be more and more of that. But because Aries has such a quick rebound rate, I just don't know that you're going to have the patience for that in other people that need like the full Chiron and Aries transit to like take care of their stuff because you're like so good at just turning things around so quickly. So anyone that's playing the martyr or the victim or doing the Debbie Downer stuff is just not gonna fly. I see Aries really cutting off significant others or potential partners or clients that are immediately going to be a waste of time. I see you recognizing that early on because you are in search of the gold. And for a fire sign, this is the gold for fire, right? The Ace of Wands. This is the pathway. This was the parting of the Red Seas where you officially have no obstacles. That's why you had to ram the Tower, because you are ensuring that you do not have obstacles. And the Ace of Wands is whatever you want. It is the love. It is the amazing sex that you want. It is the money. It is the clients. It is the climb, you know? And so there are so many reasons to kind of plow through, you know? There are so many reasons. Let's go ahead and put the camera down and start clarifying all these. I have a feeling that we'll get some interesting details that come out in the clarifiers. So give me just a second. We'll put the camera down. Thanks. Okay, Aries, so here you can see how all the cards are situated. Let's go ahead and pull out a couple oracles for the Queen of Cups specifically, which again is your energy. Eyes closed for some reason, not quite sure why. Let's take a look here. Confidence is your key to success. Yeah. And I love this Knight of Swords and his confidence. It's really resonating with me. It's coming out just so potent. And even with the King of Swords, and remember how I said it's like all about just kind of using the mind right now and just allowing your mind to overcome the obstacles. This is definitely mind over matter territory. Confidence, you can only be as confident as you think you are, right? And this is not just superficial confidence. It's not even like lifestyle kind of confidence. It's core, from the heart, from the gut confidence, because you've paid your dues, you know, you've done the labor, you've done the hard work, and now it's time to enjoy the palace. Like I said, it's like where the benefits start to really come through. Let's take a look at one more. You have to have confidence that you deserve the Ace of Wands. And please fill in the blank because it's going to be different for everybody. Sacral chakra. Oh, beautiful, right? The second chakra has a lot to do with passion. There's a sexual component also with the Ace of Wands as well. So for those of you who are looking for love and romantic union, and not just superficial kind of stuff, obviously, we're talking about real, honest connection with people. That is absolutely on the docket for you. But you have to operate from the deep place. See, I think this Queen of Cups, not regarding her intuition, but regarding her kind of eyes being closed and, you know, her Cancerian wanting to be at home and, you know, wanting to feel things. I think that's potentially avoidance. And I think a lot of Aries are going to get stuck there. And I think some of you are dealing with Aries where none of this applies. Like you're going to be listening to this and be like, oh my God, Jane, like my Aries isn't doing any of this. They're not acting. They're not really fulfilling this kind of path that they see for themselves. They're just staying at home. They're doing nothing. Yeah, that's the Queen of Cups energy. She can definitely kind of get to Aries energy a lot because of the Piscean 12th. And it's a beautiful gift if it manifests positively and it manifests in a useful way. But if people are avoiding things, it means they're afraid and they're experiencing shame and guilt. Shame, guilt, and fear. And that's a nasty combo. Means their lower chakras, especially their second and their third, because this is a card of Leo, right? So the sun, which rules the third chakra, second and third chakra. It's hard to get things done. It's hard to achieve when those chakras are not spinning properly. Take a look at the Queen of Cups now. See, really stuck, really feminine. It's so contrasting. Let's pull it over here to the Emperor. Now, for some, this could be a really beautiful balance of masculine and feminine. I'm not saying that it can't be a wonderful balance, because it can. See, it's the work. Productive work. I don't know that you have, right, Seven of Wands. I don't know that you have a lot of obstacles or a lot of naysayers. I think a lot of people are at least supporting you. More swords, man. Jeez. Okay. That King of Swords, I'm sorry. See, I knew I was getting a good feeling from that Devil. No negative manifestations of these seemingly negative cards. None at all. So this guy here might be a different person. This is going to be someone that might deliver a harsh truth to you. Might be someone that's like, dude, Aries, like, open your eyes, wake up, snap out of it. Let's get this stuff done. Like, you have no idea how close you are to the finish line. Like, come on. No feel, right? No cups. Cups reversed. Not about emotions. I'm going to pull one more. One more for the Devil. Okay, for those of you who are new to my channel, by the way, we're going to be talking about these cards in the comprehensive reading, which the link will be found below. We usually talk for another 20 to 25 minutes approximately. Okay. Another reversed cup. Another reversed cup. Another reversed cup. Fool's reversed because it's not a period of being naive. It's not a period of pretending like things aren't happening. There's nothing naive about Aries right now. Nothing at all. Swords are your best friend. Cling to the logic. Cling to what makes sense. Your mind is doing you a lot of favor right now. For sure. One more for that. Okay. Three of Swords. There are going to be Aries that get confronted with this very familiar Three of Swords thing, and they are going to let it debilitate them. The temptation will be there. How did I fall for it again? How did I believe it again? How did I get into this same pattern again? Why can't I get it done, right? They're going to go through that whole thing. And that's because they're not operating from this place of confidence. They're not giving enough credit to their life experience. Aries, it's so important that you give credit to what you've been going through. Boom, Hierophant. Love, love, love the Hierophant coming out with the sacral chakra. And the confidence, right? Confidence is your key to success. Oh, that one flipped over, I guess. Beautiful. And then we have the Eight of Cups in the reversal here at the bottom. So this is where we will pick up for the comprehensive. If you wish to join, you are absolutely more than welcome. Thank you guys so much. Have an excellent rest of January, and I'll see you next month for the March readings. Take care.